Day 169 of the Ukrainian War Map, also known as the Russo-Ukrainian War. Jozzy here, and today is just another quick update as I take a more simplified and down-to-earth approach of the happenings on the ground in Ukraine. Now, as always, I like to start off with some of the Russian military losses. And bear in mind, these are always just indicative estimates. It's always going to be impossible to get a completely accurate representation in an active war zone. But starting off, we've got up to 43,000 military personnel losses on the Russian side, as shown here. And some of the biggest updates here include 14 additional Russian tank losses and 13 additional vehicles there too. Now, starting off today, maybe a little bit different, but we're starting with the Zayabrovka airfield in Belarus, right here, just beyond the border. So the Belarus Ministry of Defense said that there were explosions heard last night at the Zayabrovka airfield, right here. And now we don't know for sure if this was an actual airfield attack from Ukraine. The reason they gave was this was as a result of equipment that caught on fire. But when we're dealing with the Russian side, or at least in this case, the pro-Russian Belarus side, there is a lot of reports of things spontaneously combusting, and they usually say this just to save face politically and not to embarrass themselves. So it reminds me of the old and overused expression now by me, which is nothing is ever confirmed until the Russian government denies it. Moving across further to the Sumy region. Now, the Russian army has shelled the Sumy Oblast region in various areas over 200 times in the last 24-hour reporting period. Also, a gas pipeline was damaged as a result of Russian shelling in the northern Sumy region as well. Moving across to Kharkiv. Now, Kharkiv's always getting shelled pretty heavily. Most recently, it was from confirmed S-300 missile systems from Russia. And that even included the central district of Kharkiv earlier this morning as well. So the Russian forces, Russia, the political establishment, whatever you want to call it, they really have no shame at all, do they? And there was also a number of Ukrainian repelled Russian advances on the northern front lines here today as well, all along here. Moving across to the next region, which is actually the Donbass here. So starting off, we'll zoom out, then we'll zoom back in. So Sloviansk, or at least northwest of Sloviansk, up here. There has been some notable frontline mobilization of Russian forces and tanks built up here. And of course, the Russian goal of this front line is to take the city of Sloviansk, as they would ideally want to then move down to Kramatorsk. Then on the topic of Kramatorsk, there was shelling by some Russian S-300 missile systems as well in the past day there too. Now, of course, Russia would like to take this city, which is the biggest city left in the larger context of the Donbass region here. So where this border is, all this negative or white space here, they really would be looking to take it to claim a military victory for sure. In fact, moving further into the Donbass region, right here on the upper northeast corner, the town of Siversk, there was some recent Russian strikes in Siversk today. It's a strategically important location in the Donbass area, as it's simply the next location to be fully encapsulated by the Russian forces. But having said that, there has been multiple Russian losses here, and repelling of the Russian forces at this location, not just in recent days like today, but in recent weeks there as well. Then we move across down to the Bakhmut, town of Bakhmut here. There have been further repelling of Russian forces here, but not without Bakhmut sustaining some damage there. It's been reported that Russian troops suffered losses and were forced to retreat after some shelling right here in Bakhmut. So that's, again, definitely very front line, again, on the Donbass there as well. As we move further down south of the country, we look at Nikopol. There was further Russian army shelling of the Nikopol district as well. At this point, I have to say, Russia does a lot of shelling, but a lot of the time it's not very accurate. In fact, some Russian soldiers' phone intercepts have confirmed that a lot of the shelling is just using a bit of a spray and pray tactic. They're just not always really being accurate with what they're doing. Probably a good thing, naturally. Moving down to the Kherson region, really a very active front line here as well, and certainly gets a lot of press. The Kakhovka Dam here, the Russian-held bridge, effectively. It's a vital supply line for the Russian forces to the North Bank, and Kherson there, above the Dnipro River here. And either country cannot destroy it due to United Nations laws. You just don't want a dam to overflow if it gets destroyed from shelling or missiles or whatever be the case. And I mean, really, it's a giver of life that would instead turn into a bringer of death in this instant if it was destroyed. However, Ukraine, with the assistance of the high-precision long-range HIMARS rockets, has been attacking the train line around here. So which again will assist heavily with defeating Russians' much-needed supply lines to get to the northern bank there, to continue with their work or whatever they're trying to achieve on the north lines and pushing forward further into the Ukrainian region held territory there. Now, moving a bit down to Crimea. I pronounced that correctly today. Wow, that's an easy one. So here we go. So around here, I think it's around this area or bridge area here, Shonar. There was a big explosion reported here. And just like yesterday's strike on the Russian airfield in Crimea's Saki airfield over down here, Russia is probably starting to understand now that no location is necessarily safe, even within Crimea. What is wrong with me? Can't say Crimea today. Moving on to the news. So the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense has taunted Russia by saying it's, in response to the Saki airfield attacks there, that unless they want an unpleasantly hot summer break, we advise our valued Russian guests not to visit Ukrainian Crimea, because no amount of sunscreen will protect them from the hazardous effects of smoking in unauthorized areas. You might remember yesterday, Russia blamed the Saki airfield explosions on somebody smoking, at least to begin with there they did. And I'm tempted to make a side comment here, but I won't, not today. Now, in other news, the high-range, high-precision HIMARS rocket ammunition availability is on the rise for the Ukrainians. So Ukraine is not just getting more of these, but the supply and logistics process for actually getting these is apparently starting to become very stable, very smooth, allowing for a constant inflow of additional HIMARS ammunition. So that's about it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. Please continue to watch, subscribe, hit that like button. Definitely hit that like button and show your support and sentiment against these trolls that you'll certainly see in the comments for this unprovoked and unjustified war against Ukraine. So thanks again, guys, and I do hope to see you all in the next one. Cheers.